Boom, bum, ba-da, bum. One big session down. 3 big sessions to go, and dang, I find myself getting a little bit stressed and anxious about the numbers. This week coming into it, we had a pretty big pull coming up. 275, 3 singles was the goal. I knew last week was quite successful and moved pretty well. However, I'm starting to get pretty married to the numbers, starting to really contemplate how important this week is to dictate how good next week's going to be, and then that potential, even a little bit of overthinking about, oh, what happens if things don't go the way? What's that going to do to next week? What's that going to do to the comp? Starting to really feel and taste how close the comp is being, and we really want to pull 300 kilos overseas, so that's starting to begin super important. Monday, Tuesday, I found myself getting a little bit anxious, a little bit starting to, lack of a better word, overthink the numbers, starting to overthink the process. 275 was coming up the next day. I come off a night shift on the Monday night. Tuesday didn't get the best sleep. So I knew I was pretty tired, and I started overthinking a lot throughout the day, thinking, man, a bit tired. Is it going to move? What's going to happen? What happens if it doesn't move? For next week's numbers, what are we going to do? Am I still going to be able to pull 300? Silly things like that starting to move into the head, which is super duper normal. And I think we all potentially go through it because of one very big reason, and that is this thing's really fucking important to us. We enjoy doing it. We enjoy being successful. We enjoy chasing and getting the PBs. So for me, I just need to sit back and sort of lean into it, for lack of a better word, just sort of deal with those emotions and just be cool with it. Be like, yep, this is why you're feeling it. It's because you really want to lift what you want to lift, and sort of sit back and reflect a little bit on the session coming up. It's like, yep, a little bit tired. We warm up, last warm up definitely will be 250, and that'll let you decide. If you're feeling a bit flat, go 270. No big deal. What's 5 kilos? That doesn't ruin anything, doesn't change anything. You're still strong, you're just a little tired. And that was that for the session. Rest of the week was pretty good. We pushed some stuff over our head. We did some squatties. And now we're setting up for next week. This one's going to be good. I'm going fucking hard because I know I've got a deload coming up. Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We got ourselves a little overhead press happening. Got 210s on here. We're hitting a couple of reps. God knows what that 210s actually equals as far as a barbell feels. Kind of feels close to maybe 50 kilos for an overhead press. Hitting 5 here, super happy with that. Happy to get the progress on this one. Each week, got another couple of weeks to go. I think we'll just keep pushing up, see if I can jump another 10 next week. I'll be super happy, really enjoying the Smith machine for an overhead press. This particular one we got here, like we talked about last week, going forwards and backs as well, is super rad. Ooh, we benching, ladies and gentlemen. We're just mucking around with the grips. We're slightly closer than what we are normally. Like we talked about the other week, I do find it a little easy for my shoulder to stabilise, so my shoulder does not get as fucked up with all the pressing, meaning I can deadlift good. Nice pauses. We get a few reps here. The weight's feeling good. The body's feeling pretty good. I will say I am starting, however, to get some left elbow drummerinos. It's just getting beat up and sore. And there's a bit of a hangover from all the knee wrapping done on the Nationals run. So I do need to be mindful of that with any of my pressing I'm doing, because that gripping does make it a bit sore. If right now it's not affecting my deadlift, touch wood, that doesn't affect my grip on the deadlift. So we should be good. Again, more pressing, another cute little angle. I'm pretty happy with the bar path we're getting here. I'm happy we'll be hitting some reps here. Be able to maintain the 8. We'll throw 100 on here next week and see what we can do with that. Another sweet little angle. Again, the big thing for me, I'm looking for feeling when I do this, is that I don't break down and drop and push my shoulder forward. And that's when I get super banged up. So kind of letting my shoulder stability be my guiding path for how many reps I could do. If I wanted to fudge my way through, I could definitely do a lot more. However, I am looking for RPE, clean and technical reps Throwing in the spotto press. I really like a spotto press. For me particularly, just taking that little bit of range of motion off gives my shoulder a little bit more break, and it challenges that stability to be able to hold it there on my chest. I get mad chest pumps with this one. So we got that in there. We've only taken off 10 kilos. For me, like we were just saying, the RPE, making sure my shoulder feels good, being the governing of how many reps I get to do, is simply at the end of that 5th rep, whilst the bar's moving nice, I could definitely do a lot more if I wanted to. I was starting to feel my shoulder starting to pop and move out. So whilst the big muscles are strong enough to move it, the little muscles are not strong enough to stabilise. So I'm just playing in the green zone there and making sure it's super nice. Again, because the weights are down and light, the recoverability is quick and easy. I don't need to rest too long. So we can just get in, bash out this session. Doesn't take too much longer than an hour or so to get through it all, which is a nice way to train. Throwing up in here, a little accessory time. Incline dumbbell, that's a bit of an accessory I'm mucking around with. For me, I enjoy the incline, just to the nature of the angle. It sets my shoulder and sits a little bit nicer in the socket. And this is a nice way for me to be able to get a few more reps and push past that sort of 10-12 kind of mark, which is quite nice. Get a little bit of a bodybuilding pump. This one here I did superset with some Y/rear delt raises to keep pushing the pace of the session. I think we're just moving 22s here, nothing too crazy till now. 275, that 250 moved good enough. Like I was saying in the start, we came into this session a little anxious, a little stressed about how things were going to go. For me, I tried to park all those nerves going into the session and just using each warm-up to decide and know where I'm at. Also being somewhat competitive with the warm-ups, thinking you got to fucking send this, Johnny, so you can earn the one you want to do. The 250 moved a treat. 275 was an absolute no-brainer for me. So now that I know that I'm doing it, I'm very confident going into this that I can move it, particularly reflecting on what I've done on previous training runs, training blocks, knowing that I'm worth more than 275. However, right now I'm just starting to think about all the little things for this. I'm thinking about how fast, how well this needs to move so I can set myself up for the last week of this training block. We're messing around with the camera there. Good. Moved good. Not super fast, but certainly not super slow. Here we go, bro. Jay Lee, my lovely wife, banging out some chains. She's on the back downs here. She's doing some godly speed work. 6 sets of 3. Whoop. The second set. Coming into this one, I knew the first one didn't move quite as fast as I wanted. So I wanted to get after this one. Once it's off the ground, I sort of crank it. Much happier with how that moved. If I'm starting to be serious now, I'm starting to the mindset to this one. I'm saying to myself, 275 is an opener, Johnny. You need to make it look like a fucking opener. Last one coming up. That's the self-talk I was having with myself. I've got myself a little bit more animated and a little bit more excited for this, and I'm thinking, opener, Johnny, you need to fucking move this if this is what it's going to be in 6 or so weeks' time. Let's see how it goes. Bar rolling around away from me, fuck with me a little bit, but that's okay. Here we go. Very fucking happy. Let's be honest. Got a little fired up. Belt took a tumble, but that's alright. Happy 3 singles box ticked. Technical exercise, back down sets. Same as what we did last week. The stand up in between each rep to ensure I'm treating it like singles and not just bashing through reps. Being technical as the priority. Double pause just off the floor, just at the knees. Gives me good opportunities to think about where I am when I'm moving the weight. Making sure I'm in those right positions. My weight's not falling forward, my weight's not falling back. I've got that nice midfoot, that nice push. My back is nice and stable when we move it. In between each rep, those are the things I'm thinking about when I'm setting up to go for each one again. Here we go. This is a killer exercise. I've jumped 20 kilos on previous week, so I'll be looking to do something similar again. Coming into this week, we might just do the 4 reds, land that at 220.
Here we go, got another one. So right now I'm starting to think about what is the number for next week. What should I be deadlifting going into that session? If I'm going to be honest with myself, the 275 didn't quite move as quick as I wanted. Context is I was tired. However, each week decides the following week has always been the mantra moving into this. So I had originally planned or had hoped to be landing at 295 for two singles. I think the right thing to be doing will be hitting a 290 single, and then if it is good enough, I will jump the 5 to get the 295. However, hitting two singles at 290 is also excellent. After this week coming up, I do get a deload, so I will be quite happy to absolutely redline myself next week. I do expect that 290 to look like there's a bit more, 295 to look like there's a bit more left in it though. So it can't be my comp day next week. Back down work, very similar to last time. We got the banded conventional pulls, trying to pull with a bit of intent and speed. I've got 5 more kilos than last week. And hopefully the bar is moving a little bit faster than last week as well, which I'm pretty confident with. I'll tell you what though, the old conventionals are feeling quite nice. I am looking forward to, on the other side of all this training getting done, jump back in on the old conventionals and see what we can do with that sucker for the, let's call it the off season, so to speak. And we got some squatties, 3-plate fill sets. Go the Broncos. By the time this comes out though, unfortunately they got second place. Fuckers. However, I'm wearing a Collingwood hat. They got first place. They did get the win. So 1 out of 2 is pretty good. Anyway, back to the squats. We did this session on a Sunday, so I've lost a day. I've done it a day closer to my deadlifts than what I have been doing previously. That's due to having a bit of a gym party yesterday. So I am already starting to think that I will take it a little bit easier today. So we hit this one, see how it feels. Yeah, it feels and moves easy. I had already talked about going up in weight for this week. So coming off the back of that one, the feel out set, I felt that an extra 10 kilos would be fine. It won't cook me, and it'll be nice to handle a little bit more weight. However, I was considering hitting some reps this week, previously going into this session. However, losing that day and doing it on a Sunday versus a Saturday, losing a day's recovery, I am mindful to not try and overdo things. So we've just hit some singles here. Very happy with how it moves. Provided everything goes well after the deadies on next Wednesday, and if I'm not feeling too toasted from the session, I think we'll jump up another 10, no dramas at all. Moving well, that's the kind of the bar speed I want for my top sets. I want it to be RPE easy. Oh, it's all in the hips. A little patented BBad Team Nelson. Hip thrust mobility, secret to squatting big before you go. Give it a try, ladies and gentlemen. This is the last one. I feel like I sort of worked out the bar a little bit better this week. Last week it was sort of sitting a little bit forward with the weights. I felt like it was pulling me forward a little bit. You can see I pulled forward out of the rack a little bit to get myself settled. But I didn't get that same experience at the bottom of the squat that I did last week. So looking forward to next week, so I feel like I'll have this barbell absolutely dialed in and looking and feeling pretty good. Should be able to go, let's say at 170 in green. Will get us a little bit more. Bang into the beltless pause chains. I've gone up another 10 on last week. The chains are weighing 20, so there's about 150 on the lockout here. Bar speed's the paramount. That's what I'm looking for. Speed and aggression out of the hole. You can't kind of see it on the video, but I do feel a bit slower in that first third of the squat, where the sort of hamstringies and glutes are doing a lot of work. They're not my strongest point there. So that I am happy to be able to hit threes and maintain, or if not even improve on the bar speed from last week. Feel confident enough next week I'll probably jump another 10, so that'll give us a 160 at the lockout, which is good. A little shout out for being beltless too. Mate, it's taken a long time for me to be comfortable with squatting sort of, mid-range weights without a belt. I used to hide behind that thing and feel nice, safe and secure. It took me a long time based off an old school back injury. to be able to get out of that thing and just be able to bang away at some weights, which I'm pretty proud of. It was something I was thinking about during this session. Normally I would have been back in the day belting up for a red even on the bar. But we've done all the work to make all the little things and all the things nice and strong, plus also work on the psychological side of things where I start to feel now comfortable with the squatting and training beltless again, which is it's a nice way to train, particularly with a holiday coming up.
Just in case you think powerlifters don't do reps, here's a video of me doing 15 reps. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe.